I'd like to develop a simple email list of people related to children in my school. The Information and Relationships button for each child contains the related people, such as mom, dad, or family friends. And we have a couple of categories that I'm going to use in my example today. I'll do one report with the Lives With option and another report for emergency contacts. For this simplified report, we're going to use the Data Viewer tool. Under the Reports menu, go to Data Viewer, and here we'll have various views inside of each module. Now, because I'm working with people related to children, I'm going to use the Child Relationships view. The date we choose here will be the date of enrollment status for the child, based on this as of date. To start from scratch, you click the Create button. When you come into this screen, all available fields are already selected. All have a check mark, so all fields that are available in this particular view will be checked. I'd like to start by clearing all of those fields so that I can select just the ones that I want. And there's only a few fields that I'm going to need in this particular report. First of all, I'd like the full name, whether it's the contact person or the child. I want the email address. Then I'll need the primary classroom of the child. I'd want to know the enrollment status, because I'd like to filter based on the enrollment status of the child being enrolled as of whenever we run the report. And then I'd also like to see the relationship type. The relationship type is going to tell me whether it's mom, dad, or family friend, and so on. And from here we could choose either the Lives With or Emergency Contact box to check mark. I'm going to use Lives With for the first example, and then I'll come back and change this field after we've saved the report. You could also add other information. You might want the address or phone numbers that are appearing on this screen. You can choose to include those or not. I'm just going to keep my example simple, so I just have these pieces of information. Now, in order to winnow out or filter based on just the types of people that I want, I need to use a filter here for my Lives With column. And you'll notice that we have several different statuses here for different people. For example, Mary Anderson is not a person that lives with Pugsley Adams. Mom and Dad are. And then Pugsley himself is defined as a Lives With checkbox that's got a solid square box inside of it. And that is called indeterminate. Basically, it means he is neither checked nor unchecked. And that's because he's the child record. So a child cannot be related to themselves. We'll want to include that type of checkbox, and then we'll also want to use the checkbox where it's checked. The way to set that filter is to right-click on the header and then go down to the filter editor here. When we go to the filter editor, the default for the type of function up at the top is AND. Well, I want to change that to be an OR function rather than AND, because I want Lives With equal to that, which is the indeterminate. That represents the child. I want the child included on my list. And then I also want my checkbox here to be checked for Lives With equals. So what I'm asking the program to do is say return records that are either indeterminate for the child or Lives With checked, one of those two. And then just click Apply and then OK. And the other filter that I want to set is for the enrollment status. I want to choose only enrolled children. The shortcut for that is to just go to the small filter icon right at the upper right corner of the header itself and choose the status that you'd like. So I'll choose enrolled there. Now, once I've chosen those particular fields as filter fields, I can remove them from the report. We don't need to see this field on our report, so I can right-click and choose Remove This Column. And the same thing with Lives With, right-click and remove that. And further, I would like to organize this report by primary classroom. So I can just simply drag a column header up to the top to group by that field. In this case, it's going to be the primary classroom. We'll move that up, and now my order is by classroom. You'll notice down at the bottom too that my filter is reflected in the Edit Filter line. So currently I am filtering on Lives With equals indeterminate, that's the child, or Lives With is checked. That would be anybody that's got the check mark for that child, and any children who are enrolled. From this point I can print the report or export it to a different file format. If I choose Print, we'll go ahead and take a look here, make this a little bit bigger. And right now we're getting a single page per classroom. So we'll see all of our classrooms one page at a time if we were to move forward. If we'd like to see all of them together, we can go up to the header space up here, anywhere at the top of the data viewer, and right-click in the gray space, uncheck the option here to insert page breaks. And if we print that again, we're now going to see all of our classrooms listed one right after another, page after page. So if we go forward, here's the toddler's room. We'll see Pugsley Adams there. Mom and Dad are listed, but Mary Anderson, who's a family friend, is not listed. Now let's save our report. We'll go ahead and give it a title up here. There, and once we've set our title, we can save that and exit. And in the future, if we would like to come in and run this report, all we need to do is select it in our list of data viewer reports and then click View. If you'd like to use this report as a template and create a new one, you can highlight that report and choose the Create option. And here we'll get a new title automatically where it adds the number 1 up at the top. I'm going to change this one to be Emergency Contacts. And take out the 1 at the end. And what I want to do at this point, I don't want lives with to be my determination. I want the emergency. So I'll need to add that field first. There we go. And I also want to edit the filter. I want to take out lives with. All I need to do is come in and change the lives with to be emergency on both of those. Click Apply and OK. Now that I've set my filter, I can remove the emergency column. And now I'm basing my filter on the emergency being indeterminate or emergency is checked and the enrollment status is enrolled. I've got a new name for my report. All I need to do is save it and exit. And now I've got 2 different types of reports that return different information based on which checkbox is checked in the child relationship. So let's take a look at the emergency contacts list. So once again, I've got this already set so that all of our classrooms are grouped together page after page. And let's go down to the toddler's room, and now we can see Pugsley is reflecting Dad and Mom and the family friend Mary Anderson. And that's how to build a simplified email list for lives with related people or emergency contact related people to the child using the data viewer.